All right, folks, good afternoon. Let's get airborne with our solo Amazon brief. Getting ready to head out of town for the next week or so. So wanted to knock this out before we gear up for Amazon earnings at the end of the month, beginning of February. Well, not really certain yet. The exact date. Real quick, in my personal accounts, I'm long Amazon, SIL, which is a psychedelic ETF, and also I am long a hood covered call Robinhood. Market is breaking down here. You're not, well, some of you are going to like what I have to say. The sophomore year of Joe Biden's presidency is going to be an absolute disaster. We will see a bear market this year and a recession. You can count on it. Okay, let's go ahead and get airborne. We call Amazon the Death Star because it is literally taking over everything it touches, from Amazon Web Services to Amazon Air, Amazon Prime, entertainment. You name it, it's in everything, and it's only getting bigger. It is the only stock you need to own. So if you don't know what the Death Star is, you clearly don't have kids like me that are, Star Wars nerds. Or I'm actually old enough to remember the first Star Wars, not the fourth. However, they put them out of order now, right? Came out in the late 70s, early 80s. But anyway, the Death Star, giant space station taking over the universe. It got attacked, blown up, and then rebuilt, blown up again, I think. I forget where we left off. Anyway, that's Amazon. Real quick, though, you guys know about Top Gun Options, or if this is your first brief, welcome aboard. I'm a former Navy fighter pilot, so this is going to have an aviation theme to it. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? I'm going to give you two choices. There's your first choice. Now, as an F-18 Hornet fighter pilot, this cockpit gives me agita. My heart is racing right now. I have no idea how they flew this airplane, but this is the F-4 Phantom with over 300 switches and dials in that cockpit. The pilot of this aircraft would spend a lot of what we call heads down looking at all this crap instead of eyeballs outside of the cockpit looking for potential threats. Surface-to-air missiles, AAA, which is anti-aircraft artillery, enemy MiGs. Matter of fact, this jet was so complex, they put another dude in the back to actually just run the radar so the pilot could fly the aircraft. Very labor-intensive aircraft, okay? So that's your first choice. Or would you fly that aircraft? Two flat panel displays. You got two iPads in there, essentially. Anybody see any steam gauges in this cockpit? You don't. It's a completely electric jet. This is the newest fighter aircraft on the face of the planet. It is the in our inventory, it's called the F-35, the Lightning II, the Joint Strike Fighter. It is the Wonder Woman jet. It's literally invisible to radar. This jet is like the HAL 2000, man. It doesn't show the pilot a lot of stuff. Why? Because the jet goes, well, she or he doesn't need to know this right now, so we're not going to show it to him. Want to hear something even more creepy? The jet is learning. The jet is learning what the current pilots are doing, flying the aircraft, and remembering. I think my two sons, are the last generations of fighter pilots on this planet. We will go the way of knights. Obviously, clearly, this is your choice in current environment. Speaking of Star Wars, take a look at the helmet of the F-35 pilot. It actually looks like Darth Vader. So clearly, combat and trading are pretty similar, right? Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to get their ass kicked. And in combat, not getting your ass kicked could mean you're not coming home, right? Your wife's getting a flag to put above the mantle. So trading is a form of combat. Here at Top Gun Options, I'm going to teach you how to minimize that risk and get airborne and kill. My promise, by the end of this brief, I'm going to give you an up-to-date intelligence brief, and it's not good. Bad things are coming, folks, unless you're an options trader and you know how to take advantage of volatility and an imploding market. I guarantee you in a month from now, we're down about 15 to 20% more in the market. It's guaranteed. Maybe March. Show you the only stock you need to own. You already know what it is. It's Amazon, but also a good substitute to trade. Amazon ain't cheap, although it's getting cheaper by the day, but still a $3,200 stock, which should be at $6. A $3,200 stock is a little expensive. The options are obviously a lot cheaper, but I'm going to show you a great substitute that we trade here at Top Gun Options as well. So make sure you silence your electronic nicotine, no distractions, because You haven't heard, if you're new to Top Gun options, you've never heard this before. You've been lied to your entire investing career, and I'm the guy that's going to tell you the truth. For those of you who don't know me, because I know a couple of my partners sent out some emails to their lists to promote the Solo Amazon brief, so welcome aboard. My name's Matthew Buckley. My call sign's Wiz. Last time I checked with my parents, they did love me. They didn't name me Wiz. I earned that call sign flying the F-18 Hornet for the United States Navy for about 15 years. Graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School, which many of you know as Top Gun, and was an adversary pilot, and then flew some sorties in support of Operation Southern Watch. What's this have to do with trading? Everything. When I was a young officer flying the Hornet, I didn't join join the Navy to get rich. I joined the Navy to serve my country, see the world, and all that good stuff. But always in the background, I was interested in finance. So I applied everything I was learning as a fighter pilot to my trading. Having a strategy, implementing tactics that support the strategy, contingency planning, red teaming, all these concepts I applied to my trading with absolutely incredible results. So it was like peanut butter and jelly, man, applying fighter pilot methodology to being a trader, and it worked extremely well. So well that you're welcome. It was an honor to serve my country. So well that I popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms in the world, headquartered right here. These big, beautiful windows. Everybody should know that building. That's the CBOT. That's the Chicago Board of Trade. That was my trading floor right there. That's where I worked. I was the managing director of strategy for this multi-billion-dollar firm. Beautiful trading floor. I helped build a hedge fund when I was there. I helped build the retail brokerage that many of you might have been at, called Options House. And I was the founder and CEO of the Options News Network, ONN.TV. We were essentially the CNBC for options, 24/7, man. I hosted a couple of the shows, just had an absolute blast. Now, no offense to anybody from Chicago, but you can keep it, man. I'm a Navy guy. I need a beach. I need an ocean. I need sun. I live down here in God's waiting room, Boca Raton, Florida. And I love, and people crack me up. They're like, oh, I love Chicago. I'm like, let me get this straight. You probably visited in April or May for a business conference over a weekend. You had a good steak and some wine. Yeah. I'm like, try living there in February. Try walking from Union Station to the Board of Trade. It's only 4 blocks, but in February, it's a survival situation. So you can keep it. Love Chicago. Still have a lot of friends. And obviously, folks, that's the options capital of the world. But no, thank you. I would rather be down here. So how did they find you? Rick, you need a copy of From Sea Level to Sea Level, my book. And that first chapter, the first 3 chapters talk about how they found me. So Rick, order a book and I'll sign it for you. I'll give you a link at the end here. Rick book. So Rick, it's funny how they found me, because the movie Trading Places was modeled after me, right? I felt like Valentine, although I'm pretty old. I'm not that old. Trading Places came out clearly before me, but it was a little bit of a Trading Places thing, man. Little old me, ooh, I'm not a professional trader. I don't know what I'm doing. I knew what I was doing more than most of those people combined. When you can take off and land aboard a United States warship off the coast of a bad guy country, fly a mission and find the thing at night in bad weather and land on it, you can pretty much do a lot of shit. That's what I figured out. And the smart money was not that smart. Trust me. Matter of fact, I wrote a book last year. Many of my members have read this, called COVID Crash. I was the only financial professional on the face of the planet, no shit, we have the recordings, that predicted the market crash to the day. When Donald Trump sat in Davos, Switzerland on Jan 22nd, we were in an accelerated retirement live brief. I had known the intel he was being told. And the senators, remember those senators? Oh, everything's fine, nothing's coming here. Sell everything. They picked up the phone, called their brokers, and did insider trading. I didn't. In a webinar, when he looked at the camera in Davos, it was a throwaway question. You guys remember this? Joe Kiernan, whatever his name, was like, hey, what's this sickness in China, this flu? Donald Trump's like, it's not coming here. Why are you even wasting my time? What it's a joke. I trust Xi. He's a good dude, great guy. good backswing. We're buddies. Not coming here. What a wasted question. I looked into the camera and I said, get out of the market. Buy puts on the S&P 500. Get long volatility. The market's going to explode. And that's what happened. I wrote a book about it. You order that book, I'll sign it for you too. We printed money. 2020 was my best year of trading ever. We literally made millionaires here at Top Gun Options. It was awesome. So actually, if you order both books, I'll sign both of them too. You know what? Let me give you that link now before I forget. Top Gun. Let me give you the book link. Because what an incredible experience that entire year was. We started 2 investment clubs because of that, because people were like, dude, what are you doing? How are you trading this implosion? And we did it. And those investment clubs now have like over 200 people in them. So if you go to this page, go.topgunoptions.com/book, you can order one or the other, or you can order both and get a nice discount. If you order both, I'll give you a 25% discount and I'll sign them. I'll drop them in the, well, today, I'll still drop them in the mail. So go here if you want to get a copy, signed copy of the book. On the right, it's called From Sea Level to Sea Level. That'll tell you how I went. You ready? From sea level to sea level, from a cockpit to the trading floors up in Chicago. It is a very interesting journey, and you wouldn't believe where I am right now and what I'm doing in this journey. It's getting even wilder. So, yeah, exactly. I printed money so the Fed didn't have to. Exactly. All right. Let's finish my intro and get into what we're here for. Real quick, I also do a podcast called the Max Afterburner Podcast. In 2 months, we are in the top 3% in the world. I had to look that up. When the podcast company, they're like, holy shit, man, you what 5,000, 6,000 downloads, whatever it was. They're like, you're number 3 in the world. I'm like, yay. How many podcasts are in the world? And then when I looked, and it was like 2.7 million, then I was a little happier that we're the Max After podcast is in the top 3% in the world. And if you listen to the most recent episode, you'll get up to speed on my current project, which is a documentary movie that we are filming called No Fallen Heroes. I do some charity work down here in South Florida on the Sheriff's Advisory Council. I lost a sister to a drunk driver. So I work a lot with MAD. And then last year, 2 years ago, I started Top Gun Fighter Foundation to try and reduce veteran suicide. In the hour that I talk to you, a veteran will kill themselves. It's a fucking national tragedy. It's a disgrace. Our administration does nothing about it. It breaks my heart. I lost, his picture's over there. I lost 3 of my best friends. My best friend, Swede, F-18 Marine pilot. He was a groomsman in my wedding, a wife and 4 beautiful children, daughters, put a bullet in his head. It's a disgrace how we treat our veterans in this country, and I'm going to do something about it. So we're making a documentary called No Fallen Heroes, and I could not be more honored and humbled in the journey that I'm taking to save veterans' lives. If you listen to the most recent podcast, you will see that Daniel Carcillo, the 2-time Stanley Cup champion for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Cody Chandraw, who runs Ambria Capital here in Boca Raton, they invest $300 million in the alternative medicine space. They are on board our movie to help us make it. It's just incredible. Okay, last thing to talk about, that's me, that's my family. I love that picture because that's when we left Chicago. I'm obviously a lot older than that. This young man on the right is now 21. He's graduating from Norwich University in Vermont. This spring, he wants to, I guess I dropped him on his head when he was a kid because he wants to fly for the Marine Corps. My son Jack is a junior in high school, wants to fly for the United States Navy. Keely is now 14. She's a cheerleader, and she's not allowed to leave the house until I die. So that's my family. All right. If you ever come into one of these things and the dude or the lady jumps in on slide 1, like, here's the market and here's what you do and trust me and spend all your money, you're a fool. I never understood that. So sorry for taking up 10, 15 minutes on who I am, but that's who I am for the folks who don't know about Top Gun Options. All right, here we go. This might shock some of you. We're getting off the lows of the day. Amazon's turning around. I'm going to show you my trades on Amazon today because this has been fun. But anyway, you've been lied to, man. Since day one of investing, the first day you did something, bought a stock, bought an option, got into a mutual fund, did an IRA, 401k, they've lied to you. Every one of them on Wall Street is. I hated being on Wall Street. I came from a fighter squadron where if you didn't trust the dude or the lady in the airplane next to you, they were gone. First of all, they never got there. They never earned these wings of gold. There was a weeding out process where if you were a shitbag, you were gone. In Wall Street and Chicago, if you're a shitbag, you make it to the top. Trust me. These people would shove their own mother in front of a train to make a dollar. I couldn't stand it. Anyway, they're all liars. What do I mean by that? So it's shocking or it's not. They're lying to you. How many times have you all been told, do not put your eggs in one basket? You cannot put all your eggs in one basket. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, right? You have been told since day one of investing that you must diversify. Absolutely, diversification is important. The 5 tips until they froth at the mouth. They yell at you that you have to diversify. Who's they? That guy. It's a lie. How do brokers, whenever you hear the word broker, I don't care if it's real estate, yacht, aircraft, stock, how do they make money? Commission. Delete the word broker, insert the word commission. They want you in as many names as humanly possible. Ladies and gentlemen, in the old days, it was called churn. How many of you have seen the movie Wall Street, Boiler Room, the Wolf of Wall Street? All right, boys, pick up the phones. Get them into this stock. Well, we got them into this stock yesterday. Get them out of that stock. Get them into this stock. It's called churn. Every time you click your mouse, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. They want you to trade as much as possible. When I built the options house, folks, we tracked how much duh. Hold on, Wiz. Yeah, good question. Even though you didn't ask it yet, I'll answer it for you. I trade at a no commission broker. I trade at Robinhood. Folks, you ever hear the poker saying, if you don't know who the rube at the table is, it's you? If you aren't paying for something, you're not the customer. You're the product. Do you know Ken Griffin at Citadel and Stevie Cohen at SAC Capital? Do you know how much money they print off of payment for order flow? Don't give me this I don't pay anything, Wiz. I'm not even going to go into it. We could talk about payment for order flow over a beer, folks, and Robinhood and all that stuff. Exactly. Brokers make their customers broker. So anyway, I'm very direct. If you haven't figured that out by now, I'm a fighter pilot. I have little time. We just cut the bullshit, right? So here we go. Diversification is for stupid people. Now, if that was a little rude, I'm sorry, but I'll have this guy clean it up a little bit. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. Stupid. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. Now, I want that to sink in. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. That's fighter pilot slang. That's nicer for stupid. It makes very little sense. If you know what you're doing, folks, why are you diversifying? The only stock you need to own is Amazon. It is diversified. Folks, Amazon is in everything. A couple of years ago, full disclosure, I used to fly for FedEx. Hated it. I was miserable. I was 33. Showing up to work at midnight and landing at 8 in the morning and trying to sleep during the day, not for the whiz fighter. But a couple years, 5, 6, 7, whenever it was, a buddy of mine called me from FedEx. He's like, hey, I just heard from a guy at corporate. Jeff, you trade, right? I'm like, yeah. Jeff Bezos, what's he do? I'm like, he runs Amazon. He's like, he just leased 5 airplanes. I'm like, he's going to do it. Going to do what, Wiz? I'm like, he's going to put you out of business. Amazon, whatever. I'm going to get in all of it. My point being this, Amazon is its own 50 companies, guys. So we'll get into some of the threads, but just let's go through pictures first. There's no way in hell, Wiz 20 years ago in the Board of Trade, if you deleted this word and you showed me a company doing this, I would have ever believed that's humanly possible. Amazon's revenue continues to grow at 30% a year. This is not your father and mother's stock or stock market. Look at the annual revenue by segment. Folks, I am old enough to remember, you know what AWS is? It's essentially Microsoft. AWS, Amazon Web Services, didn't even exist 10 years ago. It's all these graphs this is old. This is like 3 years old. It looks like this now. Amazon Web Services didn't even exist. Jeff Bezos and who's it, Andy Jassy, the current CEO, made it up in his condo. Now, and then, the Amazon Prime Day cracks me up. It's like a national holiday now. Like people have it on their calendars. They look forward to it. It's like an event. Now, I want to show you this because, again, 20-year-old me, if you had blacked out the name here and said, would you invest in this stock? I would laugh at you. Sales. Oh, my God. I love this company. Free cash flow. Okay, maybe I still kind of like it. Profit. Nope, I would short this company. And if I shorted this company, I'd be an idiot and I'd be broke. I'm not. Why? First of all, on your screen right now is why Democrats hate Jeff Bezos. Why they're actually going to craft tax law to go after. Isn't that, talk about being punitive and punishing success? Why? Because Jeff Bezos is brilliant. Love or hate the man, the guy's actually pretty damn smart. He has said, if I make $1, I failed. And people are like, that doesn't make sense. No. He means if I make $1, I want to do something with the dollar. Buy a competitor, innovate, hire an employee, put a competitor out of business. He doesn't want to make a penny. He has said that. He has also said that, what's a dividend? I have no idea what a dividend is. It's stupid. Why would I, quote, give money back to the shareholders? They expect me to take their money and do something with it. That's beautiful. He also said he's never going to split the stock. That's why it's currently a $3,000 stock. Okay. So again, this is why a lot of people hate on Amazon. When they go after them, like, we're going to tax Amazon for all this richness. It's like they do stuff with it. They make an airline. They make a new fulfillment center that, by the way, was going to give New York City, AOC's district, 25,000 new jobs, and now they went somewhere else. So, and just don't listen to me that Amazon's a great stock to own or trade. JG, with a small account trading Wiz's Amazon trades, I netted $8,900 in 1 week. Kristen, you guys are amazing. I trade a smaller account and have done 22 Amazon trades this year for a 31 grand profit. Christine, not Kristen, Christine. Month-to-date profits on Amazon. This was last month. 107 grand with more to go. Thanks, Wiz, for all your expertise and guidance doing day trades with short calls to protect my Amazon profits. Learning from the best. I'm going to show you, men lie, numbers don't. I'm going to show you my personal account in a couple minutes, what I did this week with Amazon short calls and how much I made. I think I did the math on the next slide. Ann is making me look like I'm an idiot. Ann, Monday through Wednesday, this was last month. Oh, we're in January. I keep thinking it's December. This was a month and a half ago. In 3 days, I made $90,000 on short calls against my 30 contracts utilizing Wiz's guidance. Ann is swinging a very large account. Let's just be very clear about that. But I wanted to show you the range of current members from JG with a small account to Ann, who's trading an account larger than mine. So this is just kind of a large swath of people. Okay. This week, Amazon, these are closed trades. They're in the books, 16,835. Why is 18,660 in parentheses? Because I sold some short calls this morning that we're going to go look at live. So based on what Amazon's doing right now, those calls are going to make $1,800, 1825, which will bring me up to that. Folks, that's in a week. Well, Wiz, on how much money? Only $45,000. That is a 37% return this week on that capital. If you annualize $16,835, that's $875 grand per year. Now, my mission objective in solo Amazon is to make 15 grand a week on average. Okay. So some weeks I might get kicked in the teeth. There were weeks last year. I think my best week was 55 or 50-ish. It had a 5 in front of it. My worst was flat. I don't think, well, I'm not going to say it. Don't quote me. I don't think we had a down week, like a negative. I can't remember. So if we did, it wasn't that often. Usually we did fantastic work. So that's my mission objective. So for this week, I exceeded my mission objective. Again, that ain't going to happen all the time, but I'm just telling you. So, well, Wiz, this sounds fantastic. Let's not get airborne yet. Before, as a fighter pilot, as an options trader, you always have to brief the risks. What are the risks to the mission? What are the risks to this trade? What's the risk to Amazon? What is the risk to trading just one name? Well, let's go down memory lane. Does anybody remember a little mom and pop company called Lehman Brothers? 150-year-old company, gone in a weekend. Anybody remember Bear Stearns? Jim Cramer remembers Bear Stearns. It's a steal at $70. You're an idiot if you don't get into it. It's your money's safe at Bear Stearns. 2 days later, it was at zero. 2 days later, it was zero. How about pets.com? How about Enron? Now, for the rest of our time together, I could sit here and we'll walk around the graveyard of companies that have gone to zero. I've had a couple in my portfolio, moron. But what's the common thread between all of these names? You don't have to type it. I'll answer it for you. They didn't own a thing. Enron was a middleman of electricity, whatever that means. They didn't even own the building they were in. Pets.com owned a domain name and a stinky sock. Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns didn't own a thing. It looks like they didn't even own the Lehman Brothers sign. Folks, they owned paper. This. And when people were like, I don't know if they have enough money to back up said paper, everybody made a run to go get their money, and the paper is worthless. So, stocks can go to zero. Can Amazon go to zero? Yes, but no. What do I mean by that? It owns things, folks. I used to do consulting for an Amazon fulfillment center outside of the airport in Miami. It was bigger than an aircraft carrier, and I think with more people running around like on the flight deck of the aircraft carrier. It owns stuff, folks. I told you, the airplanes. Did you see what happened recently? I predicted this, and it came true. Another wizism that came true. They're shipping outside stuff, and they're poised to pass UPS and FedEx. I predicted that. That was another career call from me. My FedEx bros hated that years ago. They're like, you're an idiot, Amazon Air, or it's called Prime Air now. I'm like, I guarantee you Jeff Bezos is going to blow you guys away. Jeff Bezos, just like there will be blood guy, looked at the oil coming out of the well and said, well, it's getting put on a truck, which get put on a railroad. I'm buying the trucks and I'm buying the railroad. So, folks, Amazon owns things. Is it physically possible for the stock to go to zero? Yes. That means we're all dead and a nuclear war occurred. It ain't going to happen because it owns things, okay? Whoa. Why is this guy on my screen? Well, because of political risk. This guy was the most powerful man on the planet. He woke up one day, or didn't go to bed, it depends on who you believe, with his Adderall, and grabbed this and did what? Jeff Bezos and Amazon is a monopoly. Somebody needs to do something about it. Somebody needs to crush it. Horrible. I remember this. It was like the first year of his presidency. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Boom, stock went down a little bit. And then what happened? Nothing. For years, nothing. I think the last year of his presidency, cell phone. Boom. Jeff Bezos is destroying the post office. Amazon uses the post office. He guts the rates and everything like that. You know what happened that day? The stock went up. The most powerful man on the face of the planet talked about destroying a company and nothing happened. So, why am I briefing this? Because there are political risks. Amazon this, and Department of Justice that, and FTC this, and anti-regulation that, and this and that, and blah. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen. The last time I checked, he looks like Pitbull now. The last time I checked, Jeff Bezos, the richest man on the face of the planet, probably can afford a couple attorneys. I'm old enough to remember Standard Oil, IBM, Microsoft, fill in the blank, where Uncle Sam said, you might be a monopoly. It took anywhere from 5 to 10, on the outside, 15 years for the government to either make a decision or to act. So is there risk from Uncle Sam with Amazon? There is. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. God willing, it does. It's not. So there. Now, when it comes to trading Amazon, I wear two suits at Top Gun Options. I wear my flight suit. I'm going to tell you how I feel as American. I think Jeff Bezos is a scumbag. He treats his employees like shit. He doesn't pay them enough. At the height of the scandemic, they weren't even wearing personal protection. I could rant for another hour about how loathsome Jeff Bezos is. And then I'm going to open my closet and put on my $10,000 Armani and go, I don't care. You want a friend, get a dog. I will go Gordon Gekko on this. I absolutely love Amazon. I think Jeff Bezos, every employee that wants to unionize, he should fire them. I think Jeff Bezos, we have a trucker shortage. Oh, that's awful. Replace those truckers with nothing. Amazon invested what, $20 billion, $30 billion in Rivian. In 2 to 3 years, there will be 18-wheelers with Amazon logos on it with not a driver in the front. They don't have to go to the bathroom. They don't have to eat. They don't wank. They don't want labor rights. Put those people out of work. Wow, that's evil. Hey, like I said, you want a friend, get a dog. So when I talk like this, I'm teaching you how to invest and potentially make money. Know that I don't like it sometimes. So I just wanted to let you know that I can be a little bipolar, because in some of the briefs, I'll take a flamethrower to Amazon and then I'm like, yeah, but who cares? I'm here to teach you how to potentially make money. But just know that I do have a conscience. What do I do with a lot of the money that I make? I throw it over to the foundation to help save veterans' lives. So that's what I do. All right, those were the risks. Now let's talk about the goods. What are the potential benefits of trading just one name? Well, folks, you're going to trade the same name and potentially profit no matter what direction Amazon goes, up, down, or sideways. If you know how to trade options, you can make money in any direction. If you trade stock, you can make money three ways as well. Buy, hope, and pray. You buy the stock, you hope it goes up, and if it doesn't, you pray. Not as an options trader. I make money up, down, sideways. I'll show you today how I made money up, down, sideways. You stay focused on the news and events that impact just Amazon instead of a bunch of stocks and ETFs. You become an expert in Amazon, reducing time spent on other positions. Now I'm going to throw one of our new lifetime members under the bus, Doc. Doc Handel. Wiz, I need help, man. I'm a surgeon. I don't have a lot of time. I like to trade. I like to make money. I need help. I'm like, all right, man. We met. We got a cup of coffee. He booted up his computer. He showed me his brokerage account, and I fell and hit my head and almost dropped dead. When I awoke and looked at his brokerage account and focused, he had 33 positions. Now, I want that to sink in. I do this for a living, and I have like 3, and it's a lot. 33 positions. He tried, I'll give him credit, to brief me on them. Well, I think this one's a pod stock. I'm like, did you just say you think? I mean, he didn't even get through like 3. He's like, I think that's a pod stock. I'm like, you think? This one, it's something plastic surgery. Somebody got me into it. It's down like 50%, but when it gets back up to even, I'll get out of it. I'm like, Doc, you understand it needs to go up a double. That's 100%. Do you understand? Stop talking. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't become a solo Amazon member today, do me a favor and debrief yourself. Look at your portfolio. Folks, we had at that firm in Chicago, we had an a research desk. It was a research desk, 2 rows of booger-eating analysts. Their job was to eat, breathe, and sleep a couple companies. Experts. Do you know how many times they got stuff wrong? I remember a couple big times I walk over, they're like, dude, how could you have been so wrong? You get paid only to eat. So, little old retail trader, please tell me how you have 5, 10, 15 positions in your account. I'd love to hear. I do this for a living. Okay. Why would you not simplify, folks? You want to know, you want to have 30 for 3 positions? It's in Amazon. Right now, folks, if they broke up Amazon, the FTC woke up tomorrow, literally didn't even, no trial, no nothing, you're broken up as of midnight. It's like Mercury. You smash Amazon, you're going to create like 12 monopolies in it. It's worth more broken up, folks. Kind of like look at GE. GE was this massive behemoth, and now that they're breaking it up, people are like, oh crap. It's actually good that it's broken up into these big aircraft engines, imaging, and whatever the other thing is. So breaking up Amazon, folks, would be fantastic. I'd invest in everything that is broken up. So instead of investing in the 12 things broken up, you can invest in one, and you simplify your trading cockpit. Does that make sense? Now, I clicked too quickly and I just gave you the answer. So I'm not going to ask you. But if you're sitting here going, you know what, Wiz, man, that would simplify my life. Instead of watching CBC and looking at this and this and that, oh yeah. I have a buddy who's an Apple market maker. He's been a friend of mine for 25, 30 years. I'm not kidding. He doesn't know what the stock market is. He doesn't know a stock market exists other than Apple. Eats, breathes, sleeps. Doesn't care about the VIX, doesn't care about the S&P. He cares about nothing but Apple. And he's brilliant. Now, if you're sitting here going, you know what, that would really simplify my life, just worrying or looking at one thing. But Wiz, the brokers got their fangs in my neck. Must diversify, does not compute, can't just have one name. Here's what I'll teach you to trade instead. XLY. This is an ETF, an exchange, easy for me to say, exchange traded fund. Why do we trade the XLY? Look at the number one holding of the XLY. It is Amazon. A good friend of mine used to say, or he still does, that cocktail sauce, wait, other way around, shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. The XLY is a vehicle for eating Amazon. Look at that. You want diversification? It's on your screen. You get a little cocktail sauce of Amazon, Tesla, there you go. Home Depot, McDonald's, Nike, I can't stand. Starbucks, I can't stand. Lowe's, Target, Booking, TJX. There is your diversification on the screen. For all the people who are going, does not compute, have to diversify, Wiz, don't care what you say, it's on the screen. So in the solo Amazon service, I guess you could say solo Amazon, parentheses, XLY. Okay. Yeah, exactly. There's your diversification. So how do I target Amazon and XLY for max profit? Good question, Wiz. Step one, every Monday at 10 a.m., we do a solo Amazon brief. I work at 10 a.m. I'll tell you what we're going to do for you. Step one, this Monday, or no, what's that going to be? Tuesday? Yeah, market's closed on Monday. Anyway, your first solo Amazon brief, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you how to establish what I call a base position. Just like the Marine Corps, when they land, they establish a beachhead. We're going to fly out in time and establish what I call a base position. If you are out in the options world, we can fly 2 years out into the future and be either bullish or bearish with a tactic I'll teach you called synthetic stock or a long call diagonal. After we establish our beachhead, our base position, we're going to trade the front month. What's the front month? You're sitting in the front month, January, February, March. So it's kind of, you ready for this? Right now you have 2 trades on then. You have a long-term bullish or bearish position out into the future, and you're trading the front months. I mean, hell, we could trade the middle months too. There's 3 trades, right? But all in the same name. Amazon or XLY is going up. We'll do some bullish spreads, buy some calls. Amazon's going down. Oh no. We can still make money if something's going down. Bearish spreads or buy some puts. What if it's just moving sideways, Wiz? Well, if you're a stock trader, it sucks. You sit there and stare at your screen. If you're an options trader, it doesn't suck. You make money on something moving sideways. That's why you want to trade options. If you're sitting here going, I have no idea what an option is, welcome aboard, because we actually have a full throttle training coming up, I think, in a couple weeks. Perfect timing. Okay, now let me go show you my brokerage account, my live screen, because I have another one over here where I've been watching Amazon. So this morning, I bought some new Amazon calls at the low. At the high of the day, let me bring Amazon up. At the high of the day, so I bought call. Let me go to orders. First of all, let me just prove to you. So this is my live brokerage account. You see, this is E-Trade. You see where it says individual brokerage, right? This ain't a paper trading account. This is a real brokerage account. I think this is actually my wife's, Susie's. So she's doing very, very good. So let me go to orders. Let's just do the last 5 days. And I'm going to select filled. So here, and I'll put Amazon. I have a couple other trades on the S&P 500 and Robinhood. Let me click save. So there you go. On this screen is the 16,000, whatever it is. The extra potential, what is it, 1,800 bucks, is right here. You see these? These are for today. I sold 5 of today's 3240 calls. They are currently up 71%, 1,300 bucks. By the closing bell, if Amazon, which it looks like it's going to be, is below 3240, I add $1,825 to what I made. Oh wait, you can't see that, guys? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. Thanks. Saw all these questions coming in. I'm like, what am I gooning up? All right, so here you go. There's the order screen. These are all my Amazon orders from this week, all of them. Okay, so there you go. This is my brokerage account, 1760. That's what I was showing. Okay, and then let's just go to today's order. So today, I bought next Friday. I bought 5 of next Friday's 3250 calls. If you want something to do right now, I would buy these 3250 calls out to next Friday. Let's go take a look at Amazon right here. Let me refresh this because I think we are going to get a snapback rally. We are way, way, way oversold, especially this tech wreck going on right now. I'll give you my strategic mindset. I think Amazon does an arc. I call it the Amazon arc, Mondays through Fridays. Monday, Tuesday, this, Wednesday, Thursday, this, Friday, this. We've done an Amazon arc. We're going to do another one. Okay. Earnings are in about 3 weeks. I think we're going to get a little bit of a run up in earnings. If we don't get a run up in earnings, it's look out below. Amazon will be below 3,000 easily. Okay. There was a miss back here, but this is why I like Amazon right now is this. Implosion, explosion, implosion, explosion, implosion, explosion, implosion, explosion, little implosion, explosion, implosion, implosion, explosion. Look at this, guys. This is a trading dream. This is not an investing dream right now. Let's take a look at the strategic picture, strategery, as George Bush would say, for Amazon. Let's take a look at a 5-year chart because it'll be better for us. This is what Amazon do. Rip your face off rally, hover. Really rip your face off rally, thank you, COVID, hover. Implosion? Maybe. Or rip your face off rally, level, rip your face off rally, level, rip your face off rally? Most likely. Why? With Pete Buttigieg managing the supply chain crisis on baby leave, Amazon was able to absolutely destroy folks. The last earnings where they missed, they're like, we're spending a lot of coin right now because it's stormy out. You want to invest in a company who's fixing their sales for the current horrible sea conditions. So when the sun comes out, they're hauling butt. Okay. So for the past, let's do a 1-year chart. For the past year in Amazon, this has been a trader's dream. These type of moves are what allow me some weeks to do 50 grand or 18 grand this week. And again, let me show you. Men lie, numbers don't. This current account, after buying those calls this morning, I'm trading on 50 market value right here, $59,000. It was 45, but I bought these 3250s of about 15 grand out the next Friday. Okay. I believe, and it's starting to get on the horse a little bit right now, I believe Amazon is going to swing around here. 3,200, it bottomed out. But today, here's what's interesting. I could have bailed out of these calls. I bought the calls right here. those 3250s up at its peak. They were up $3,500 today in about, that was an hour. Okay. I couldn't close them. Why? Because I still had these short calls on for today. It would have been a risk violation. I could have managed that a little bit better, but I'm just showing you what's going on. For the people in this group, let me show you right here. This is our lifetime, this is our max afterburner stuff. Let me just show you the commentary. Oh, and I closed some short calls that I put on yesterday for 51.35 right there. So here's all my Amazon trades. Okay. Where is it right here? There you go. As Amazon started to climb, right here, the new Amazon calls are already up $2,000. Nice little pop. About, what was that? Look at that. 9 minutes later, they're up $3,500. I would close these now and take a profit, but I would have a risk violation with the short calls. Okay. So again, just showing you that if you had done those 3,500 calls, you'd be that they were crushing it. Okay, but I'm hanging on to these short calls because every second that I'm talking to you, we're generating theta. So Amazon closes below 32.40, I make $1,800, which is going to help pay for these long calls right here. These are the ones that were up about $3,500 when Amazon peaked. So throughout the day, folks, I sit here and take shots of opportunity in Amazon. Bought some long calls here, sold some calls here. Amazon does this. It's a great trading stock. So for now, that base position I wouldn't do. Okay. So let me kind of brief you real quick on something. Jamie Dimon, the skipper of JP Morgan, came out today and said he believes 6 to 7 rate increases this year. Let me hit you with the summary slide because I want to stay on time. The sophomore year, which we're in, of Joe Biden's presidency will be an absolute disaster. Does anybody in this room think after his freshman year, I can't even debrief you on everything that happened in his freshman year. The biggest thing that I care about is that he's responsible for the deaths of 11 Marines, a soldier, and a Navy corpsman. And then a day and a half later, in a knee-jerk reaction to take revenge, he killed 7 children looking for water and 3 adults in a drone strike on a car. It's a war crime. Not one person held accountable. The biggest military defeat. I'm a military man. I study this shit. The Secretary of Defense should have been clipped. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs should have been clipped. The 4-star Marine general in charge of CENTCOM should have been clipped. And if those men had any shred of honor and dignity, they would have resigned by now on their own. But I digress. Don't get me started. But anyway, let me just look in the chat box. Does anybody think that I'm wrong? I am telling you, folks, a recession is coming. In order for the Fed, so Lael Brainerd, Ms. Brainerd yesterday in her confirmation hearing, or 2 days ago, was like, inflation is our number one priority. Jerome Powell. Do you remember these kind of pullbacks recently? Let me tell you where we're going for 2022, folks. Jerome Powell, right here, said what in testimony? Inflation's not transitory. Oh, hey, Jerome. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, Joe Biden, the President, and Jerome Powell. You were the last 3 people in the United States of America to get on board with, well, since they drive in armored cars and they don't do their own shopping, they don't know about inflation. But anyway, finally, Jerome Powell says right here, I'm ditching the word transitory. No shit, Sherlock. Smash. Inflation's here to stay. We're going to have to taper. We're going to have to stop injecting money into this market, take away the punch bowl, and raise rates. Smash. But each time, Wiz, we recovered. The reason we recovered is because he didn't do it yet. You will read in COVID crash, at the height of the COVID stuff, I'm like, Jerome Powell needs to stop now. I'm an aviator. If he wants to engineer a soft landing, start now. I've been saying this for a year and a half. It's too late. It's over with, folks. For Jerome, Dr. Doom, the guy who predicted that 70s, just absolute. In order for him to do any sort of, not even it's going to be a crash landing no matter what. He needs to do what Greens, or what's his name, Volcker did. And just, I want to give you this. You need to read this, man. If they act, look at this. I don't think this Federal Reserve has the leadership to act decisively. They'll act incrementally. In order to turn the market around to a more non-inflationary attitude, you have to shock the market. You can't do this bit by bit. This is a great write-up. He is absolutely correct. Paul Volcker had the intestinal fortitude to do this. You have got to read this, because he puts this. If he were advising Powell, Kaufman said he'd urge the Fed chair to be draconian, starting with an immediate 50 basis point increase in short-term rates, and then saying more is coming. Folks, this has to happen. First of all, it would be, you need to smack people right now, folks. This would have two impacts. If they're not lying under oath, them saying that inflation, Joe Biden saying it, his poll, he's at Doc's positions. Doc had 33 positions in his portfolio. Joe Biden's approval rating from the Quinnipiac poll is 33. Numbers are speaking to us, guys. Listen to me. The number one thing on that list of people, COVID's like not even on the list anymore. It's inflation, it's the economy, it's this, it's everything, and it's crime. And so if you have to make a decision, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell my TGO members, you have to make a decision about what's going to happen this year. Goldman, a lot of these guys, who was it? Kyle Bass. I actually like Kyle Bass. I'll give you the link to this. Kyle Bass, I respect. On CNBC yesterday, he said what? He's like, they're going to raise a couple times. The stock market is going to absolutely implode, and then they'll stop. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to decide right now. It doesn't matter to me what happens, because I'm going to print money as it happens. I love movement. As an options trader, I like movement. I don't want 20% bear market recession. People get hurt. People with 401ks, all sorts of stuff. So that's going to be a whiz in a flight suit, whiz in an Armani suit moment. I'm going to feel like shit because people are getting destroyed. And then I'm not going to feel like shit because I'm an options trader. And I tell people, I'll teach you how to trade options and you can profit off stupidity. And if they don't, then I don't have sympathy for them. So what do you think's going to happen this year? I think it's going to be a shit show either way. Irregardless, I'm making up words now. So, folks, I don't think Jerome Powell has the intestinal fortitude to do a shock. This incremental baby steps the whole time, and he writes it in this article. I just gave you the link. You have to read this over the weekend. He talks about what happens incremental, folks. We're still burning to death. Inflate 7%? Thank God they're going to get destroyed in the midterms. People don't care about anything else but when they fill up their tank or go to buy a steak or some chicken, and they're like, oh my God. So either Jerome Powell, so inflation is going to keep raging, or Jerome Powell is going to push the button for the fire extinguisher and just go smother. And if he does that, you will see an immediate bear market. He did it already. How many of you remember October 4th, 2018? Go look at the chart of the S&P 500. That was the day that Jerome Powell last said, I think we should raise interest rates. Christmas massacre. From October, November, December, we imploded. Steve Mnuchin, the then Treasury Secretary, called it the Christmas massacre. In 3 months, folks, we went down 22% in the S&P 500. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I want to be wrong. What? You heard me. A lot of the predictions that I make that aren't good, I don't want to happen. I like being wrong. One of the big ones I love being wrong about was I knew the 3 guys who were commanding officers of the ships, and I knew the 3 CAGs, commander of the air groups, the airplanes on the boats. The last time we had that much iron in the Pacific was the Battle of Midway. They were all off North Korea. I knew a little birdie, and several birdies told me, we're going to attack North Korea. Donald Trump said it. I'm going to rain fire and fury down on the world the likes have never seen, or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. I had very good info that we were going to attack, and I had hedges on accordingly. And then President Trump, thank God, demurred. He sent a picture to the dude from a from a drone with the bullseye on his forehead. He's like, I'm not going to kill 25 million North Koreans. I'm going to kill you. So Wiz got that one wrong. I like getting things wrong when bad things don't happen. Here's what I'm getting at. I will not establish a base position out into the future. I might actually establish a base bearish position out into the future. It's coming, guys. Don't forget that February is usually its own shit show. Here's what January looks like. Usually we get a Santa Claus rally. We didn't this year, too much. We usually get a Santa Claus rally. Then in the January, Q4 earnings start coming out. Did you see the financials today? And then we kind of hover the middle of January, and then in February, we slam. I guarantee you that's going to happen. Not only are we going to slam because it's seasonal. I've been doing this for 31 years. I think for 30 years it's done that. 1 year maybe it didn't. But after that, March Fed meeting, I think Jerome Powell, if he's going to, I think he will telegraph if he's going to do a big rate increase. He has to. But folks, this is no joking around right now. Okay? Do not fly in this market solo. At least join up with somebody who knows what they're doing. I told you, order the book. I'll sign it for you. I gave you the link. I'll send it to you. Read how we predicted the COVID crash to the day and made millionaires. I believe, guys, I'll go on record say this. I believe what's coming in this year, it will be almost exactly like the COVID crash. If Jerome Powell does these half-point increases or like 3/4 of a point or a point, you will see 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 point days on the Dow. Now you have to decide, is Jerome Powell, so you only have one choice to make, or I mean two choices. Jerome Powell does his job and will do those things. Or two, Jerome Powell won't do his job because the market will go down. That's not his job, by the way. So we have a lot to talk about. I could sit here all day and talk about this. Rocco, the expiration date for those 3250 calls was next Friday. Look at Amazon coming out of the grave. So I would have, if it wasn't going to be a risk violation, I was going to do that. So Amazon, the calls that I bought this morning, look at these calls that I bought this morning. They're up $1,500. They were up 3,500, but as Amazon's starting to climb out of the grave here, look at that. So just today, in today's trades, there is $1,300 for, but these calls are going to go out worthless unless I actually would love in the next 2 hours and 3 minutes for Amazon to go above 3240, these short calls. That would be a great problem to have. So Rocco, I bought 5 of the next Friday's 3250 calls. I mean, we're at 3220 right now. If we get a little, people take a break over this weekend and then Tuesday, boom, we might see a rip your face off rally out of Amazon next week. We'll see. Don't know. Remember, it's a shortened week. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I went on a little bit of a rant there, but I think that was needed. All right, guys, Solo Amazon. It's our newest live trading service. All my other briefs are about $167 a month, but guess what? I cover a lot of stuff, the VIX, all sorts of other stuff. Solo Amazon, it's only $97 a month, or if you want to grab an annual membership, I'll give you a 25% discount today for $897 a year. I'll give you both links in a minute here, but if you want to grab the annual, it's cheaper. As a businessman, I'd love for you to do the month-to-month, but I like helping people out. That's a 50% discount from my other services, guys, but again, I'm only covering Amazon and XLY. Hey, Wiz, every 10 a.m. on Monday, I work for a living. Well, guess what? 80% of our current members work. We send out a text and email alert, right? There's a screenshot of a recent text alert. You get this immediately on your phone. That's the order that I placed, and then an email fires exactly at the same time with an order ticket of what I'm buying, what I'm selling. This is, for example, a bull put spread, and then the risk. I'm risking this much to make this much. Here's the probabilities. Here's the break even. So you get a text alert, you get an email, and then about 15, 20, 30 minutes after the brief, I post the replay, right? Look at Chris. I'm so geeked. Been a subscriber for almost 3 years now, and this is the first time I've been able to attend live. I only know you via the replay, so there you go. Today, I'm also going to throw in the manuals, man. These things, if you went to my homepage today to buy them, they're $197. These are great. Primary, intermediate, advanced. For all the folks that are new to options, bury your face in these. I go reread these sometimes to brush up. Now, if you're sitting here going, wait, you just said I could get this for $97 a month. The manuals, if I went and bought them, are $197 a month. Let me help the political science major Navy pilots in the audience. You just saved $100. You just made $100 on this transaction. Keep the manuals, man. They're worth $197. Do solo Amazon. There's your test flight. Try it for a month for $97, man. Here's what you get. The brief it's Monday at 10 a.m. Sorry, we moved the time. It's 10 a.m. Let me fix that so I don't forget. 10 a.m. because a lot more people, East Coast, West Coast, that was better. Text and email alerts, the 3 skill-based manuals, and access to our online forum. It's called the Ready Room. You can ask me questions in between briefs, after, whatever. You can interact with your fellow squadron mates. Bob, closed one Amazon synthetic stock and all Amazon positions associated with the synthetic stock for a $37,000 profit. Goose was 28 grand profit in a month. Got treed on a call. We'll look for a little pullback and sell a put. He did 28 grand in a month on Amazon. Chuck, thank you, Wiz, for the 3,500 Amazon calls yesterday. I closed 3 contracts at my 30% profit target, cleared 15 grand. Also had 6 Amazon calls that also hit 30% for another 50K. Pete, absolutely. You can upgrade. Hey, man, do solo Amazon for $97 in a month. Just shoot us an email and support to upgrade to the annual. Yeah, absolutely. No biggie. I'll give you the links in a second. We already covered this. I showed you on my screen live. Actually, that wasn't my account. That was Susie's account. I trade both of them. So that was Susie's account, 1760. That's a nice return. Okay. So let me give you both links. If you want to test fly for a month, $97. But, oh, hang on. I always forget this because I assume most people know how to trade options. I feel like the Flex Seal tape guy. But wait, there's more. There is more. In about 3 weeks, we're going to do 8 live training sessions. If you don't know what an option is, or even if you think you're a Jedi Master, please take the full throttle training. 8 sessions. There are really bad people out there that sell like I didn't even know there were still DVDs. Buy my options trading course, like 5,000 DVDs for $6 grand. It's a crime. I will give you 8 training sessions from this is a call, this is a put, this is the stock market, to this is an iron condor for $195. I'm supposed to go to the Panthers game tonight. I guarantee you, for food and everything tonight, I'll spend more than that at the hockey game. So here's the training schedule, man. I'm going to take you. You're going to have your manuals. You're going to do 8 sessions. Take the full throttle training, folks. Please, I'm begging you to do this. I'm going to teach you how to trade options. Mr. Marsh, I totaled my Amazon trades for November, and I was in shock. Cleared 117 grand in profits this month just on Amazon. So grateful to this group for what I have learned and accomplished. I had a total of 33 Amazon trades this month that were mainly spreads and calls. I still think Amazon wants 4K. That was 2 months ago. So I will look for an opportunity to reload. Solo Amazon, newest live trading service here at Top Gun Options. It's our hottest service. It's also kind of our gateway drug. It's our gateway to some of the other services, our lifetime membership. We're going to be launching a charting service this year, maybe even some crypto. Dude, this is a gateway drug. For all the folks that are just new here to Top Gun Options, please join Solo Amazon. I'll give you the page in a second here. You can either do $97 a month. Take the 195, guys. You're failing if you don't, or the annual. If you didn't learn anything today, I failed. But if you learned anything, please simplify your trading cockpit. There is absolutely no reason to be trading 33 positions, 15 positions. Folks, I do this for a living. I sit here and do this. And I just showed you my brokerage account. I got 3. I got Amazon, Robinhood, and SIL. That's all. All right, here's the monthly. $97 a month. I live down here in Boca. If I went out to lunch, I might spend $97 here in Boca Raton, especially with Let's Go Brandon inflation. There's the $97. This is the $8.97 to give you a 25% discount. I like people who are on board, like, hey man, I'm ready to. I'd rather do this. Again, as a businessman, please do the $97 a month for the entire year. That ain't me. I am all about. I already got mine, folks. I helped run a multi-billion-dollar firm, started my own company. Money's great, yay, but my dad always said you can't take it with you. So I'd rather put the ladder down to help people out than, you know. And as you've seen with our No Fallen Heroes project and everything like that, I'm into helping veterans even more. Pete, I can't. Rocco, no, 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 no. Do you get solo? Oh yeah, with Max Afterburner. Yeah, I had that backwards. I thought you were asking, do you get Max Afterburner if you're a solo member? No, no, no. Max Afterburner, absolutely, Rocco. If you are a lifetime member, you get access to everything we do. Not only everything we do right now, but going forward. So yeah, Max Afterburners. That's obviously a significant. Rocco, your name looks familiar, so. Pete, I can't answer that. Pete said, what size account do you need? I don't know. I don't know. That's why there's a disclaimer at the beginning of this brief. I'm not a registered investment advisor. I'm not a broker dealer. I don't give investment advice. In a trading environment, you should be paper trading, right? Until you fully know what you're doing, you shouldn't put any real capital at risk. Always, always, always. I go to the simulator building, right? As a fighter pilot, I read books. I went to lectures. I went to the simulator first before I got airborne. So I just showed you what I'm trading, or like I said, the 1760 is Susie's account. I'm trading with 59 grand right now. That's this account size. So I think to open a regular brokerage account, you need $1,000. I think maybe $2,000 to trade on margin. I can't tell you what to do. So, and look at these calls, because every second that I'm talking to you, so these calls are going to close for a max profit of $1,800 right there. So it just depends. So, and then, yeah, in addition to trading Amazon, we'll trade XLY, right? So smaller accounts are welcome. It's all relative, right? I have buddies who are trading family office accounts that are trading $100 million. I have buddies that are trading $10,000. It just, everybody's all over the place. So, if I do a trade that's risking $5,000, let's say I do a trade today that's risking $5,000 and it's 10 contracts, and you go, I don't want to risk $5,000. I only want to risk $2,500. Well, then you do 5 contracts. You do half of what I did. Well, Wiz, I want to risk 10. Okay, well, then you do 20. So, folks, you are the pilot in command of your aircraft, not me. I fly my airplane. I signed for my jet, right? Before I went flying in the F-18 Hornet, you literally signed for the airplane down in maintenance control. You fly your brokerage account. I don't. Okay. So you would scale your positions depending on your risk tolerance and all sorts of stuff like that. So whenever people ask me, well, what's a good account size? I have no idea. I trade. You're eavesdropping on me, right? I'm not telling you what to do. You're eavesdropping. So you'd scale your positions for your own risk levels and stuff like that, right? Some people are like, oh, Wiz is trading, 10 grand on this trade. I only want to trade 1 grand. Great. Some people are trading massive accounts bigger than me. Awesome, right? That's what makes a market. Okay, a couple more questions. Yeah, I'll put. The book is right here. You can order one or the other or both. If you order both, you get a 25% discount. I'll drop them in the mail today or tomorrow. Make sure you read COVID Crash, folks, from panic to profit. We destroyed it. And I think it's coming again. Biden Crash. There's my third book already. The podcast is right here. It's called the Max Afterburner Podcast. Yeah, episode 14 is where I sit down with 2-time Stanley Cup winner Daniel Carcillo, and also the guy, the investor of the year from Ambria Capital. That link's in the chat box as well. All right, a couple more questions. Sorry I went over by 9 minutes. I hate going long. I had a little rant in the middle there, so I apologize. Quarterly payments. Kathy, we don't have quarterly payments for solo Amazon. Nobody's ever asked for it. We just don't have it. Bradley, are you involved with Black Rifle Coffee? I personally am not involved with Black Rifle Coffee. My partner in one of the jets that I own, one of my fighter jets, is Jared Taylor. Yeah, he's one of the owners of Black Rifle. He's a great American. I did my medicine. I did my treatment with Jared Taylor, my journey with Jared. I did my journey. So speaking of that, if you want to hear about my journey, episode 7. Episode 7. So I did my journey that just completely changed and saved my life with Marcus Luttrell. Everybody should know who Marcus Luttrell is, the lone survivor, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met on the face of the planet. He calls me a couple times a week. Wiz, check it in, man. Got that Texatrol. His wife got him a John Deere, big tractor for Christmas. He was telling me the other day, hey, man, I'm out here plowing. I'm like, what are you planting? He's like, I'm nothing. I'm just digging dirt. Okay, Marcus. So Marcus, JT, Robert Gallery, who was an All-American from Iowa and then played in the NFL for 8 years. He was at the Raiders for a while. And then another Navy SEAL named JJ. I can't tell you his last name. Just absolutely fantastic. So very long answer to your short question. I'm not involved in Black Rifle Coffee. I did a flyby of one of their stores with JT that opened outside of an Army base. So would you show your portfolio again with only 3 positions? You got it. I have, and here's what's interesting. So let me collapse all the positions. Here are my 3 positions. Amazon, Robinhood, and SIL. SIL is a psychedelic ETF. Robinhood is Robinhood, and then Amazon is Amazon. But underneath Amazon, obviously, I have a bunch of different positions: long calls, short calls, you name it. So, yeah, the calls that I bought out the next Friday are these. Here's today's orders, guys. I bought 5 of next Friday's 3250 calls. So I just need, I need Amazon to make a little bit of a pop up to little bit. Let's go back to here. Let's throw Amazon up here. Yeah, it's $97 a month, or you can do $897 for the year right now. It gives you a nice 25% discount. Amazon has earnings right out here, guys. February, like beginning of Feb. So usually we should get a little bit of a run up in earnings and then a slam. This is really weird. But again, these ups and downs, I've been trading. That's how I can make 16, 17 grand this week. Okay. All the short call trading that I do helps pay for the long calls. It's this blue collar trading here, right, man? Sell some short calls, bring in money, pay for the calls. So the short calls that I sold today. So look, I bought 5 of next Friday's 3250 calls, and then I did what? I sold 10 of today's 3240 calls. Remember, whenever you sell something, you make money. What am I making? I'm making, by the closing bell, $18.25. So I just paid off some of the calls that I bought out the next Friday, and I'm going to do it Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday of next week. Sell calls, sell calls, sell calls. Franklin, if we are currently on monthly, how do we change to the annual deal? Franklin, just email support at topgunoptions.com. She will hook you up. Just shoot an email, Franklin, go, hey, man, I was in Wiz's solo Amazon brief. I'd like to upgrade into the annual, and she will hook you up. Yeah, Lawrence, I saw that. Yeah, Amazon and Tesla are a bigger part of the XLY. I got to update my graphic. XLY. Thanks. Yeah, I need to update that. That was a couple months ago. Yeah, I'll give you the links one more time. This one is 8. Wait, that's the $97 a month one. It says monthly in the URL. That's easy to remember. And then this one says annual, solo annual. That's easy to remember as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am humbled and honored, man. This is fun. If I wasn't doing Top Gun options, I don't know what I'd be doing, because I do this. I just kind of I turn on the screen and say, hey, here's what I'm trading. I founded the Options News Network to teach retail traders what's going on, right? I was on the floor of the CBOE and the CBOT and was giving people a behind-the-scenes view and unusual activity. And so I know John and Pete Najarian from my time in Chicago, and still keep in touch with my people. So I'd be doing this, but my focus especially for 2022, is because there's so much bad going on in this country, folks. I got to be honest with you, man. Or you know what? Let me not waste more of your time. Let me just give you a link to a video to watch because it's got like 5,000 views or 4,000 views right now. About COVID and what's going on in this country and shit like that. Because I told you my two sons, one in high school and one in college, want to serve their country, and I would not. Ladies and gentlemen, I would not. I was born in 1968, grew up in the 70s and 80s. Ronald Reagan, shining house on the hill. We beat the Soviet Union. We were a good country. We didn't self-hate. It's an awful. When you got a guy like me who spent 15 years, man, flying fighter jets in the Persian Gulf, being in shitty countries, going to more memorial services than I care to remember. When you lose a guy like me, this country's in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. I've had to tell both of I sat my son Matthew down and Jack, and I both told them I would not raise my right hand to serve this country today. The United States Marine Corps, the United States Navy has given exactly zero religious exemptions for this vaccine. There are hundreds of Navy SEALs that, well, they were going to get thrown out. It's a separate lawsuit. Thank God the Supreme Court, half the Supreme Court. So let me get this straight. The only people in this country who can't make their own healthcare decisions are healthcare workers. Nice job, Justice Kavanaugh, you jackass. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you lose me, you've kind of lost the soul of this country. Navy SEALs. My son, Matthew, 21-year-old kid. He's on the hockey team up at Norwich. He wants to be a Marine. He is built like a brick shithouse. He got Norwich. Before you come back to campus, you have to get another shot. He got the shot last week. He didn't move for 3 days. He was upstairs in that room, fever, chills, throwing up. I'm furious. I told him not to do it. Dad, I can't go in the Marine Corps. Why do you want to go in the Marine Corps in a country that is forcing you to do something like this? I don't know how we got on this rant, but you were saying thanks for my service. Well, I don't know, man. Here's what I'm focusing on in 2022. Saving lives, saving veterans' lives. You see this? Today, we remember the Marine who took his own life following the news of being administratively separated for refusing the vaccine last month. So the old rate of 22 veterans per day kill themselves is old. I guarantee you with this COVID bullshit that's going on, veteran suicides are through the roof. Not only veteran suicides, but active duty people who are getting thrown out on the street. They wanted nothing more to do than serve their country, and now they're being thrown out. Wake up, America. Maybe it's not too late. I don't know. But I'm telling you, man, when you lose a guy like me, you've lost this country. I've had it. I'm going to care about you. I'm going to care about my family, and I'm going to care about the veterans' lives that we're going to save in the No Fallen Heroes Project. And that's it. And that's the high note. That's what we're going to end on. All right, guys. There's not going to be a replay. People, that's a New Year's resolution of mine. I'm not doing these marketing replays anymore. You either come to the brief or you miss it. So somebody asked earlier, I wasn't ignoring you. I'm not, because that means I have to sit here for another 30 minutes, and I'm not going to do that. I'm done for the day. I have charity work to do, so there's not going to be a replay. Maybe one last time. All right. I will put the replay will be posted on the YouTube page. I'm not emailing it out. Wiz, we all appreciate your honest and open talk. Very much appreciated. Thanks, CJ. Craig, there is no phone number. We do not do phone support, man. We do email. People like, I canceled. No, you didn't. So email. Craig, you just email support, SUPPORT, at topgunoptions.com. Yeah, maybe we're talking Amazon up off the floor here. Little bit of a rally. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Wouldn't shock me at all. Nothing shocks me with Amazon. So it's a little bit of a. My lines on here are $25 increments. Amazon, look at this. Amazon is a magnet. It goes into these $25 increments. That's what I trade. That's what I'll show you how I do stuff. So, all right, guys, I got to go. I went way too long. My apologies. I apologize for that little bit of a rant right there, but I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate about this. So I'm passionate about you. I'm passionate about putting the ladder down to help you guys out and your families. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge and God bless. Namaste. I will talk to you guys later, and welcome aboard to all of our new members. We'll see you.